And welcome back to Marquette on the Line. Tomorrow night, the College of Arts and Sciences, College of Communication, and Church of the Jesu will come together to present the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. Concert will feature well-known symphonies from composers such as Mozart, Haydn, and Beethoven, and will be led by renowned conductor Stuart Chavez. The performance will begin with a prelude by the Marquette Chorus. The show is free and will take place in the Jesu at 7 p.m. Active Minds will be hosting a different musical event tonight. The event is called Inmates Speak Up. Former inmates will have the opportunity to discuss how they found meaning in their lives. One former inmate turned rapper, Apollyon, will perform some of his music. The event is sponsored by the psychology course, Meaning Making in a Different Complex World. Active Minds works to reduce stigma associated with mental health. The performance is going on right now in Marquette Hall, room 200. And moving to campus politics, college Republican Students for Walker hosted a money bomb table for Scott Walker today outside of the AMU Brew from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. State Representative Rich Zeiper made an appearance at the table earlier in the day. Gubernatorial candidate and county executive Scott Walker will also hold a special meeting at 8 p.m. on Sunday in AMU room 252. Scott Walker will speak about his current campaign, his vision for Wisconsin, and will take questions away from attendees. And now I'd like to welcome you all back. And for some students, they've gotten a chance to really explore the history of civil rights. I'm joined today by a group of students who led the Civil Rights Pilgrimage from Marquette, which is a group that was led by Department Programs of Intercultural Department, DJ Todd. He's joining me along with a few other folks to discuss exactly what happened. First off, I'd just like to ask if you could explain to me a little bit about what intercultural programs does at Marquette.
All right, well, intercultural programs is based out of the Office of Student Development. And what we do is we provide all students at Marquette a chance to interact with the different cultures on campus. One of the main things we do is we celebrate the different cultural heritage months. As November is Arab Heritage Month, we have 5 or 6 celebrations going on during the month that bring out that culture within the university campus. And we want to make sure that it's not just for students of color per se, but for the entire Marquette nation.
I saw, one of the things is I understand with your Civil Rights Pilgrimage, can you just tell me how that got started and really some of the things that you do during the trip?
Okay, I'll give you a brief overview of it, then I'll let some of my students talk to you more about that. The Civil Rights Pilgrimage was actually started by the iconic Dr. Pamela Peters, who was actually Assistant Dean of Intercultural Programs up until June of this year. She started in 2007 because she wanted to immerse the students in the Jim Crow South in that era, because as we move further and further, as people get older and older, our young people get further and further from the movement. So that Civil Rights Pilgrimage, we stopped in 3 cities. We went over fall break, this past fall break. We stopped in Memphis, Birmingham, and Atlanta, Georgia. And Marissa Evans and Terrell Freeman will be able to talk freely about what we did on the trip and how they were impacted.
Yeah, awesome. You can go ahead and share your experience with us.
Our first stop was Memphis, Tennessee, and we went to, we drove overnight to Memphis, so it was a long ride, but we stopped first at the Civil Rights Museum, and it was really inspiring just to see all the different pictures that they don't show you in textbooks. Right. You know, in the textbooks they give you this glossed over perception of the civil rights, and with the Civil Rights Pilgrimage at Marquette, you get the full-on experience. You really get immersed in what the movement was about, you know, the people involved, the new people that you don't talk about in the textbooks. So there was that. And then in Birmingham, we went into the Civil Rights Institute. What else did we do?
We also went to the Alabama Jazz Hall of Fame, learned a lot about the jazz culture in the South and how it resonated throughout the country. And in Atlanta, we went to the King Center, where Dr. King gravesite is, along with his wife. We also went to Morehouse College and saw their homecoming football game and step show. And then we also went to a church service at the church that Dr. King preached at before he passed.
Now, I imagine for you guys, actually getting a chance to see some of these places, that you read about in history textbooks and everything, it must have been a pretty powerful experience for you as students. Can you just tell me what some of your feelings were and the feelings of the other students that went on the trip?
I know a general consensus was a lot of the movement was actually led by students, like the SNCC. They were a group that organized sit-ins and like lunch counters and things like that. So people of all different colors and colors and cultures could sit together and enjoy something as simple as lunch, and college students organize that all on their own. So they're seeing us as college students and seeing the power that we can have by seeing what they did, along with other movements such as, there was a Little Rock 9 and the 9 black high school students, as well as different students being the first colored students of like different universities like Mississippi, Arkansas, things of that nature. So they're seeing the effect that college students had on that movement was it was great, because you don't really get to see that on in textbooks and classes.
That's fantastic. Well, I'd like to thank you guys for coming in. It sounds like this is really a neat experience that students get to have. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And when we return, Tori Dykes will be joining me to talk about student feelings as they register for classes. Stay tuned to Marquette on the Line.